So, pause the game here.
Okay.
I'm looking at the board here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see, alright, so the chaff did fine, but those fire badgers are a problem, because they just eat up the chaff like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, so if it's just the fire badgers that are a problem, what can I do to fix this? I'll give you 3 guesses what it is.
I don't think I have to guess anymore. You might be addicted to War Factory. I'm here to see it. War Factory. It is a fun unit when you can make it work.
Apparently I've been told that new players have always shied away from using the big titans, but I like the War Factory ever since I got that insane win against that level 9 Scorpion.
Well, this certainly is a bit of a cluster, you know what. I mean, it doesn't kill the leveled marksman, but the rest of this will.
And there it is. So yeah, what I need in this moment is a distraction, a big chunk of HP.
Yeah.
So I set it up to get the enhanced armor and toss it right in the front.
And you do actually use the rapid resupply to accomplish this. Okay. This probably was not what I would have chosen. I think I would have sticked without armor here. But hey, I think this is definitely a you-do-you situation.
Again, I always pick up the efficient maintenance as an insurance for later on. Because I know that the War Factory isn't going to win the game by itself right here, right now.
No, you're going to need some chaff here.
And yeah, as you can see right there, it's doing an admirable job of absorbing the fire badger fire.
Opponent defense is flanked, but in the time that happened, the army is kinda already gone. The anti-missile device is also gone. So kinda you are now free to sentry the front however you see fit. That fire is only going to tickle the War Factory ever so slightly. I think fire does like 150 damage per second or something like that, or per tick. I don't know how it works entirely. And fire does actually get absorbed by armor. The tick damage from fire. Same with Ignite, by the way, and I think with Acid as well. Oh,
it won't matter for too much for Acid, though, since Acid's a % damage attack.
Yeah. But I think that still makes it, you know, go down or scale down when you put that there. When you put Acid down and you have an armored unit running through it. I would actually have to test it. Now here's a melter. Go ahead.
I'm a bit proud for spotting this ahead of time because I saw the barrier device.
Yeah.
So I assumed that since it was only equipable on giant units, he would try and throw that onto a melting point.
I mean, let's be perfectly honest. What else is going to break a level 2 War Factory with armor?
But you know, I get to counter that. Steel balls with steel division.
Mm-hmm. We've seen that in the last game already. And now that War Factory is just quite a bit away from the melter. A single well-placed War Factory can really do a lot of damage. And the defense in the flank was not nearly enough to keep up with MechDiff here. So I know that some people think of steel balls when they play them as kinda crawler APCs. Because as you can see, they bring your chaff through the fire. Also, that melter's gonna be very sad. Very sad. Very soon. Yeah, those steel balls just took it down like it was nothing. And there is not enough left by a long shot to deal with that. Also, 11 times steel ball production is just insane. I think it's 12 for the sledges. No, it's 17 for the sledges and 6 for the phoenixes. Boy. Well, here's another...
I'm kind of sad.
Yeah?
No, you go ahead, you go ahead.
Well, here's a Scorpion if the opponent needs more plugging all the front against War Factory.
I picked up the Raidens both as... I picked up the Raidens as a anti-air measure, and if their opponent doesn't commit to air, I would sell them.
Yeah.
You can see I already sold one off.
Yeah. That certainly is... What? Well, that's a nuclear option to deal with this flank for sure.
I mean, he might have been surprised by the steel division there.
I mean, yeah, but a single double-shot Scorpion should be fine enough, I think. At least with range and double-shot. I think the rest you kind of need at the front, because right now all of your chaff clear units are doing nothing. He has 2 techs on these units and he only has 2 of them. Honestly, one of the best ways would probably like put a bunch of vertical fire badgers there and let the fire kill all the spawn crawlers and have the marksman kill the steel boars. That's a more efficient way to answer this flank instead of putting 2 scorpions there. At least he puts 1 on this side. And there we go. Frame rate goes to you know where. Do I take it correctly that this is going to be the final round? Because I don't see how the opponent is going to be getting out of that, to be honest. Maybe I'll get surprised, actually. Chaff clear is effective so long as the fire is on the ground. But there's just a second war factory, yeah.
Again, the melting point just keeps getting gummed up. I mean, yeah, it gets the lock on eventually, but what's going to do about that other one?
Yeah, exactly. That flank has just entirely fallen apart. And the amount of health is really tight for the opponent. If the war factory and the rain live, that alone is 900 damage, and we just need a bit of change, on that in spawns. Although he may survive another round here. It's not a lot of stuff that you are left with, unless there's a unit that I'm just missing, but I don't think I am. Well, let's speed this one up and see where that leaves the opponent. Yeah, it leaves him at 128 health and a dream. More melters, but that is no longer the problem. Right now you really need to clear medium units. Oh, multi-melt. Okay, that can work, but that makes the melter absolutely horrible at dealing with war factories. I honestly think the correct answer might have been EMP missiles. But this is a headbutt, so photon is really effective. Do you have photon on your boats?
Nope, I swapped out for anti-missile.
Okay.
So even if he got EMP missiles and survived this round, a simple anti-missile would have been sufficient. Because I think, if I remember correctly, war factories are the best anti-missile unit in the game.
They are. I can hear your voice crackling, which I assume is going to be related to me both recording this on Discord, or rather streaming it on Discord and recording it. So I'm afraid that's just going to have to be it for now. That said, there is a lot of EMP missiles that melters can throw out, and if it's at point blank range, it's going to be very difficult intercepting them all. Because interception range does actually matter. And we do have a pretty strong lock on this factory, but you can basically just see it doesn't really matter a whole lot. The moment that these melters get locked by the war factories, they are going to get blasted into nothing. When the melting point doesn't have its full beam strength, a war factory with armor can just kinda ignore it. The melting point at this point just becomes another unit doing damage.
It also doesn't help that even though there's multiple beams, the more beams that hit the war factory, the more damage is negated from the armor.
Technically, yeah, I don't think it matters all that much. I would have to do the math, but it's just not enough. These things have 440k. Ouchies! Well, here's the war factory addict. And it works. Do you ever even lose with war factory?
Oh yeah, I've lost a few games, but mostly that's because I was behind the curve already, and I threw them out as a Hail Mary. So then the Hail Mary would let me survive one more round, but then that'd be it, because then the opponent would do something else to counter War Factory, like push one side strongly to get the tower debuff early, and then that would kill the War Factory.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense. I mean, if you really want to demolish the opponent here, just put a Phoenix on that side and beacon it towards the middle. Alright, we have one more game to check out. Let's check that out, but I think I'm going to restart the game before that, just to get some better frames.